everybody, and welcome to the Absolutely Pickled podcast.
The best 30-ish or so minutes of your life you'll never get back.
All right, let's go. Okay, everybody, welcome back. Here we are. I'm again in violation in the kitchen as usual. And today it's just going to be you and me, mate. Just me and Lee. How do we feel about this? Do you think we can hang?
I think it's about time. We were overdue for a catch up. Like, we've had some amazing guests on here, but like there's been so much happening that that we're interested in each other's lives. I don't know if anybody else is, but hey,
yeah,
tough.
Totally.
They're gonna listen to us today.
I also think we spend a lot of time talking to them. We must talk about who we've had on and just recap that at some point. But I don't, when we first started doing this, I was always interested in the Where's Waldo section on our website, where and what you've been doing. And you're just as much a superstar as everybody else we've had on. So I'm going to treat you like the goddess that you are in the pickleball world today. And so I know that there's been a big change in kind of what you're doing competition-wise, and a very tidy start, I might add. So can you just, I know you're not very good at showing off, but I'd like you to try. What happened a couple of weekends ago in your first ever senior pro tournament?
So what happened was this is the bad thing, is like when you're in your 30s and you realize that you no longer are in your 30s. And I graduated this year to senior pro, which was a bit of a hard pill to swallow, but yet one that I was looking forward to being a part of, right?
Question number one, I didn't think you were 50, and you're not 50 yet, but
don't worry about it. I have a fake ID that says I'm 50. Enough said. No, it's the year you're born. So actually I get to compete the whole year at 49 because I have a very lucky birthday for pickleball, not anything else in life. So I'm actually going to be legal for maybe 10 days. It's 9 days. I have a December 22nd birthday. So December 22nd, I'll actually be 50. And for 9 days in 2024, I'll be legally 50 to play on the senior tour. But because it's a year you're 50, I get to play the whole year at 49. And honestly, it's nice being the young buck on campus. Like for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been 20 plus years older than my opponents, and
they're just getting younger.
They get younger, faster, stronger, and more obnoxious. Honestly, they're like, "Oh yeah, we got that past you, no big deal." Fist pump in the face, and I'm like, "Listen, meet you in the parking lot.
I could have birthed you, you bugger."
Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, it's not, respect your elders. Exactly. But no, it's nice being the young buck now and pretending to run down balls.
Yeah, and come on, let's talk about it. You won 2. Not only did you win gold in mixed, you won gold in women's doubles. Who did you play with? And I
think that's more of a function of who I got to play with, right? I've got great partners for the year. I'm playing with Jaime Onsens, who is an amazing tennis player by amazing career in tennis and pro tennis. Oh, yeah. And I booked him early. As soon as I was like, "Oh, I'm playing next year, let me get a good partner." So he's my mixed partner for the whole year. I didn't get to play with him last weekend because he was off like being important and being like the Brazil Davis Cup captain.
Not very rude of him.
Is more important than playing mixed doubles with him. Okay. I might have texted him and said, "I needed you, mate. Where were you?" Yeah. No, I played with a buddy of mine. We played well. We came up short. But then on the East Coast, I played with Angela Simon, again, pro tennis player, played number one at Georgia, and on the West Coast, trying it out, coming up in Sacramento and playing with Lily Cordick. She's a lefty, so it'll be 2 lefties on the court, but yeah, another heavy tennis pedigree as well. So looking forward to the quality of partners that I have.
Yeah, is that this weekend?
No. This is, I should know, but I don't. I think it's in 3 weekends time.
Okay. All right.
I don't have a break. I don't think I'm competing for a couple of weeks.
Don't know about you. You don't know your schedule from one day to the next.
I really don't, but I know.
Put your schedule on our website and you don't even know it. You should just check our website if you don't know where you're going.
I should check the website more often. I really don't know my schedule. I have a calendar in my office, and then Cindy reminds me of what I'm supposed to be doing and have I booked my flights.
Yes.
So
because adulting doesn't come naturally to you, does it? It's funny that you're in the same. You have a mental age of 12. Okay, one of the things I'd like to talk about is this weekend, and I don't know if you watched it, but the Pickleball Slam 2 was on, it's the second year with Andre Agassi, John McEnroe, and this time they had my idol. Good Lord, if there was a wish list for the podcast, she'd be top of it. Steffi Graf. They had Maria, and then they had Jack Sock and James Blake. And so it's cool, and I think it got a lot more. I don't know what the numbers were on the viewership, but it was very fun. It seemed like it was a little bit more organized this time. The pickleball was really good, actually, because the first time they did it, it was a bit sketch, but you could see McEnroe getting better as he played. Do you remember?
Right. I didn't think there'd ever be, sorry, John, but I didn't think there'd ever be a world where I'd be rooting for McEnroe against Agassi. And there he was, right? Because he got better and he embraced pickleball.
Yeah.
And the first one, as the event went on, I was fortunate enough to be there. However, you know, some people are like, well, tennis has no place in pickleball. What are they doing? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Bottom line is, it got way more eyeballs on the sport of pickleball than all players combined could ever do. All pickleball players, pro pickleball players combined could ever do.
Yeah.
Right. Their brand, their awareness, their reach, and who they are and how accomplished they were in their own sport, right, in tennis, allowed them to have this platform, and it got so many more eyeballs into pickleball, and that's got to be seen as positive for the sport, right?
Yeah. The other thing I noticed, I wasn't ever a huge Sharapova fan because I always thought she was a bit mechanical. Do you know, she, again, really impressed on a pickleball court. And I suddenly went, she's an athlete. She's good. She's adjusting. She had very quick hands at the net.
Maria, if you're listening, Maria, Penny by no means meant that you weren't an athlete when you were playing tennis.
No, just she's very tall. You know how some really tall people don't move as well? And I didn't think movement was her thing. I was so impressed. So I've changed my tune. I mean, I knew Steffi was just going to look smooth and whatever, but I was really impressed with her. And she, again, like Mac, she's only been playing like 3 or 4 months, and she got better during the evening, and they were competing. It was good. It was good. McEnroe broke paddle at one point. He was getting frustrated because the umpire kept calling him and Maria for foot faults at the kitchen line. And it's like
that whole stepping into the volley, right? I mean, Courtney is an amazing referee. She refs a lot of the pro matches, and she does
very cool. And she could take the banter. It was great.
Yeah, and she was not going to back down, right?
No.
So, and I think she and Matt got into it in the first one last year, and it was funny to see that banter. And
but he
now
looked
she's way
this
more
time.
comfortable.
I was like, is he really mad or is he just playing mad? I don't know, because I was like, oh, he looks a bit mad.
I mean, I think he gets mad in the moment because you can see he's trying to win the point, right? And then that mistake is like, oh, really?
Yeah.
You know, and it just
it is a bit
over the edge sometimes, like, especially when you've been fighting so hard in a point.
Yeah. Amazing.
I mean, I think it's great for what, and I hope it's an annual thing.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, the more eyeballs we get on pickleball, we all win, right?
Yeah. And they take it seriously. You could see they were wanting to win.
I tell you what pickleball does, though. If you're an athlete, if you've been an elite athlete in your life, you're a competitive human being.
Yeah.
Pickleball brings that back out in you.
Yeah.
Because you can be competitive and fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Right. Because you can, if you've got hand-eye coordination, and skill, and they all come from racket sports, so they've got the hand-eye and definitely high paddle racket skills. So they're able to be competitive very quickly.
Yeah.
At a decent level, right?
Well, I think it reminds me of not even just the paddle, the hand-eye with the racket sports, like Danny Jensen, who we had on, who was a D1 soccer player. And if you haven't watched it, go and watch episode 11. He was saying that same thing. He was like, these tennis players will never know what it's like to start out at 2.5 and just be so frustrated because he's got, like you talked to him about, he's got all of the skills and the hand-eye and the recognition, and he just couldn't do it because he'd never played a paddle, a sport with a paddle in his hand before. So, but that competitive nature, having been an elite athlete, suddenly you've still got that fire in your belly of I want to win, and what the hell, and who are these people trying to compete with me?
Well, and with that comes the emotion.
Yeah, exactly.
So
He was great. What other guests did we really enjoy? Who
I've
come?
blocked them all from memory.
Have you?
I block them all. No,
Let me
I
remind
have
you
to say,
then. Let me remind
no,
you.
I have to say, there's obviously, I've liked all the guests,
Yeah,
right?
they were
Dr. Ty probably was the most insightful,
not Sia.
um, just because he comes with that psych background, right? And it, he can relate to the athlete. And
Yep.
I was like just on the edge. I could listen to him speak all day, honestly.
Episode 2 and 4, people. 2 and 4, if you want to see Dr. Sai.
Yeah, so I mean, so those are great. And
And
then
what was really funny as I'm editing them, there are times when Dr. Sai is talking and you and I are going, like,
right.
literally, you're on the floor.
I mean, and so that's a good guess when it can shut us up, right?
Yes.
I mean, Jennifer and Alex Hamner, two
Yeah.
OGs that are great in the sport. I have to say that I'm playing mixed doubles mixed doubles. I'm playing women's doubles in the US Open with Alex, so I've got to say she was my favorite, right?
Oh, you guys are going to do great.
After April, I can recount my statement.
So wait, when is that?
Sometime in April. Like, do you asking me? Who doesn't have a schedule?
Yeah, exactly. Actually,
Sometime in April, I'm playing with
does.
Alex.
I'm going to add it to the website though, just to remind everybody that check out Alex and Leah.
Cricket was fun.
Yes.
They all have these unique moments of like, aha moments or nuggets of laughter and true belly laughs, right?
Yeah.
So I think each and everyone is different in their own right.
Yeah.
And
I
look
really like
forward
Mayday
to
McCord was lovely, and Thadia was lovely. She was great. She's the #1 pickle player in the UK. Is she coming out here? Have you seen her at any tournaments, or will you see her?
no, we had a huge falling out. It's quite bad.
No, you didn't.
No, I think she's probably going to come over for the US Open. Probably,
Good.
I think she needs to come over for that one. The British lot come over for the US Open in Naples. So,
Okay.
by the way, fun fact on Jeopardy question the other day, Naples is fast becoming the capital of what sport? And it
Pickleball.
was pickleball. Yeah,
Oh, brilliant.
we're making it on Jeopardy.
Oh, look at us.
Yeah, I think I look forward to having a random selection of guests that are from all walks of life. That pickleball is obviously the connector, but that they don't have to be at the top of the sport. I think there's so many interesting people in pickleball that have a story, and I want to know these people.
Yeah, exactly. And we want our whole idea, just in case you didn't get it, everybody, but Absolutely Pickled is about just the joy of pickleball and growing it at grassroots level. And so we want to hear stories, and that's why we love it when you write in with questions, which we're about to get to. And if you have ideas of guests that you'd like to see on, we'd be happy to try and track them down. But also, the guy in the street, we had Maurice the Grease on, he's Lee's #1 fan, and he came on and just told us about his journey. And it's great with these people that are finding joy again in a sport and getting out there, and we want to hear their stories, so we're happy to have.
And if you know somebody that we should have on our podcast, please connect us.
Yeah, exactly.
Feel free to make an introduction. We'll talk to anybody. Not everybody talks to us, but we'll talk to anybody. We're not proud.
I want Judy Murray. I think Judy Murray, because she's been really pushing pickleball in the UK and Scotland, and we love the Scottish accent, don't we? So we've got to get Judy, or Andy, obviously, if Andy's available. But Judy would be lovely to have on. So Judy, if you're listening, please come on to Absolute Pickled. We'd love to have a chat with you. Without further ado, it's time for Dear AP. All right, mate. 2 questions for you. Get ready.
All right,
first question. Let me lift this up so I'm not looking down. I noticed last week my head was down like this the whole time.
I thought you were showing off the hat.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of am. It's a shameless plug. Okay. Question number 1. Jordan from Wichita, Kansas writes, I'm a 4-0 player, and I think I have a pretty decent third shot drop, but sometimes I'm not sure where to place it. I tend to go wide to the backhand of the player in the ad court. So obviously she's playing 2 right-handers, but sometimes I miss wide. Where's the next best option, or where does Lee tend to target her third shot drop? Ooh.
Over the net.
Okay. Beyond that, whereabouts over the net?
It all depends, right? You gotta assess your opponents. Middle is always a safe bet. There's not too many angles, right? If you go outside and you float the ball high, you're creating these cross-court angles that are a lot sharper than you would in the middle.
Right.
But ultimately, I think the biggest thing is your opponent able to hit the ball below the net? Whether it's in the air or off the bounce doesn't matter.
Okay.
I tend to like it when my opponent hits a ball in the air below the net, because that ball has to go on an upwards trajectory, and it's hard to change direction of that ball from way below, but down by your shoelaces, right?
Yep.
So I mean, but middle is always a safe bet. You don't want to go too far in front of you because they can always earn you. So, you want to veer to the inside legs of both your opponents and
Okay.
cross your eyes and close your eyes and cross your fingers and hope for the best.
Yeah, love it. Okay, there you go, Jordan. Sounds like you can hang, but there's a couple of tips from Lee Whitwell. Okay, question number 2 is from Wendy from Mesa, Arizona, hotbed of pickleball players there. And hers is a simple one. What's the secret to a great doubles pairing in pickleball? How do I find a partner that complements my game? Now, we don't know what it is, but
duct tape.
Duct
tape is great. How do you find a partner to complement your game? Well, Wendy, we have no idea what you play like.
No,
so
we
don't know.
need more specifics with these questions.
Yeah, we need more specifics. I'm like, hang on.
Write in again, Wendy. Write in again.
Yeah, wait, she's coming through. Hold on. She's what? She dinks the ball. She doesn't move very well, and she hits the ball out a lot. Play singles, Wendy. Yeah, the spirits are telling me to play singles. No, I mean, honestly, it's just find somebody who you can have fun with, right? And then you can hopefully win more. And if you're not winning, then you can blame your partner for so long. But if you go through 6 or 7 partners and you don't win, maybe the problem is you. Most likely the problem is you. Wendy, you're the problem.
Wendy. Oh, poor Wendy.
Yeah. Have a drink.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a solution.
Wendy should watch episode 10 with Alex and Jennifer, because obviously they are buddies and they've played together, and I think they had some pearls of wisdom on doubles.
And I think they've had some mild success.
Mild. Yeah.
Mild. And they've won a couple of like local Moneyball tournaments.
Yeah, I thought they were it was just a local, like
no, like nothing major.
Spring fling or something,
I think they won the Turkey Trot, Spring Fling, and I think a March Madness Moneyball. I think.
Yeah.
But hey, it was the win.
Okay, well that's it. Now I know you were gonna challenge me because it's time for the questionnaire before we wrap up this episode that we're keeping nice and succinct this week.
I know. I feel like we just zipped through this so fast.
I feel like it was so long ago that you asked me, and I certainly don't know what I'm going to say. So there you go. But
all right, well here we go. It's time for Inside the AP Studio.
Got it. I'm ready.
The nod to James Lipton tea.
Okay.
What is your favorite word?
That one's easy. Dolce de leche. Anything. Ice cream, dessert, whatever. Dolce de leche. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right, but I just know it's caramel.
You're not, which is quite funny, but it's okay.
How do you say it?
It's dulce.
Dulce de leche. Well, anyway, that, because I didn't know about it, and then I discovered it, and I'm like,
how is that your favorite word? That's like your favorite food.
It is my favorite. Well, it might.
Like,
yeah.
Like great shot. You're like dulce de leche.
Dulce de leche. It's caramel, man. It's sweet. That was a sweet
favorite word.
Well, I'm staying on the food theme because
chocolate chip.
No, I'm staying on the food theme. Liver. My brother and I, you remember Americans won't understand this, but back in the day when we went to school, you had to have school dinners. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't get a choice of what you're going to get. And sometimes they would serve liver, which smells disgusting, looks disgusting, and makes me want to vomit when I taste it. And my brother felt the same. So we made it up that we had an allergy to it, just so we didn't have to have liver.
It's probably there probably is a condition.
Yeah, I mean, well, we made it up. We didn't even tell my mum, but we basically said, we both have it. But it just, even the days they served it, the smell of it was. Yeah. Anyway, so that would be my least favorite word.
Well, I mean, thankfully, I'm not asking what smell do you hate, and really liver.
No, that would be it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You're like, question liver, liver, liver.
yeah.
Sound you hate.
Sound I hate. Crying babies. I can't handle it. I have to find them and cuddle them. I had a very colicky Jack Finders, intern Jack, before he got a proper job, was a very colicky baby, and I didn't sit down for the first year of his life. And I used to do, I can shut any baby up. I just get him in the death grip, facing out, and I would do deep leg lunges to shut him up. Or I've done them on planes, I've done them in restaurants, I've done them everywhere. But a baby crying just gets me, so I don't like it. Baby laughing, I love, but that's boring. I think I've got a better answer.
No, to me, like a baby crying on a plane.
Yeah, because they might have earache, or they're obviously not okay. Something's wrong, and the mother.
I'm like, one of us isn't making it off this plane. No, I think a child misbehaving is worse than a crying baby, because a crying baby is in distress, right? But like a 3-year-old running up and down the aisle and being in pain.
Child misbehaving can get talking to a baby crying. There's something.
You can't exactly, and they can't communicate. So,
and it's not their fault. Yeah,
and you can't throw them out the window, so you've got to comfort them.
No, exactly.
What sound do you love besides baby laughing?
No, not that one. Popping of a cork, particularly a champagne cork. I love that sound.
If you've won something or you're celebrating.
Or something. Even when the waiters opens a wine bottle and it goes, I just love that sound.
Yeah, I used to love the fresh can of tennis balls. Remember back in the day when we used to play that long-handled game, like,
well,
you know.
Now I'm going to show
my fresh tennis balls.
I can remember tennis balls coming in. We used to get them in boxes.
The boxes has a Slazenger 4+ Permaplus. Yes.
And they used to and they had fixes too.
Yep. Pressureless.
Like egg cartons or whatever. Yep. When did they go away? And when did we worry about pressure?
I know, never. There was no pressure last century.
Quote Billy, what's her name? Billie Jean King. Pressure is a privilege these days because we didn't have pressurized balls.
No, pressure. This pressure is all about this century. Last century, there was none.
Exactly. So there you go.
What profession or what job would you like to try? It can't be anything you've ever done. Something that you think that you might like, not necessarily be good at, but just like, do you want to be like the
I think it's because we've just built the ADU, but an architect. I really quite like technical drawing. Do you want to see some of my drawings? No.
Well, you use that a pickup line.
No. No, I'm literally on the I'm not going to show it to you. I'm working to build this. It was supposed to be an ADU, but it's really a house that's eating my house. And I've so enjoyed kind of giving the contract to like, could we do this? And I've measured it out and I've drawn stuff. And the technical drawing, I'm not trained at all, but I wouldn't mind. I would have liked architecture. There you go. That's my answer. What
profession would you not like to try, no matter, even if your life depended on it?
I'm not. I mean, I was going to say stand-up comedian because people tell me I should, but it's terrifying. And I just think, no, I'd never do it. So probably stand-up comedian because I think I couldn't handle, I'm not thick-skinned enough to handle the rejection and the abuse when you flop, which apparently you do a lot at the beginning. So no, stand-up comedian.
Okay.
It's like karaoke, mate. I think I can sing, and so I do it in karaoke, but I would never claim I'm a singer. So I can tell jokes to you and I, but if I actually stood up and pretended that I could actually tell funny jokes, I would fall flat on my face and it would be awful. So never.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, definitely. That it takes a different breed.
Yeah. And I'm too sensitive to survive that.
Favorite curse word?
Bollocks.
Least favorite curse word?
Least favorite curse word. I'm a bit like you. I'm not a huge fan of the C word. That one. At least I wouldn't say it. Sometimes people do deliver it quite well, but that one's not one of my favorites.
No, I think the only times I've ever used it, I've really meant it is to describe a person who's
Yeah,
it's
really.
well deserved. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like there's
it's
no other
vicious. That.
words. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Mm,
I mean,
yeah,
it's either calling them that or running them over with a car, and I wouldn't do
yeah.
well for them,
It
so
does
they
make
go
you
with
go
that
and go.
word.
I think it's because we're females as well. I don't think blokes
Makes me,
care.
it just, oh, it just,
Yeah, it's yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If God existed
Oh yeah.
and you were fortunate enough to make it in on the bell curve,
Yes.
what would you like him or her to say to you when you rang that doorbell and the gates opened?
Um. Wow, this is a shock. That would be what they would say. What I would like them to say was probably we have dolce de leche ice cream ready.
It's on a soft serve.
We have all you can eat soft serve dolce de leche.
They're like, we just got our shipment in.
Yeah, that's it. I can't think of anything better than that. But we
Okay,
always used to say what I would say is, "Wow, you got a wild card entry, wasn't it?" And you were like,
I'm a
"Lucky."
lucky loser.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I always
Yeah.
used to tell people like, go to hell. I'll meet you at the bar. But yeah, that would probably be
I might look, it's a stairway to heaven and a highway to hell. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'll just get in the car.
it. I'm a
So maybe
fucking
climb. I'm like, I gotta get in shape
climb
for
the
this.
stairs.
Like, how many stairs? Like, I just need to know. Is it 10?
Exactly. It's
10,000?
too many. It's too far.
Too
Well,
many.
mate, are we done? Are there any more? I think that's it, isn't it? Ugh.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that was all the
I
questions.
don't think I did very well there, but there's much funnier answers by our guests and by you than that. But anyway, a
No,
little bit fun,
I think the Dulce de Leche was
even
that,
though I said it wrong. Yes.
that was a left field one. That was like, ooh,
I know. You weren't expecting that, were you?
I mean,
See?
yeah.
Okay, well, we will wrap it up here nice and succinctly, and we will see everybody next week. Is there anything else you want to tell them? Check out our merch on the site. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Yeah, like feel free to go onto the website and let me know when and where I'm playing. That would be nice to know.
And drop us a line. There's lots of places on the website to drop us a line. We're always after more questions for Lee and for guests, and we will be back next week, hopefully with another fun guest. Maybe we shall see.
Yeah, I think we've got a great guest lined up for next week. You know, barring any kind of weird cataclysmic effect that will just, where there's a tornado on their house or something, I think they should be able to jump in.
All right then.
So,
excellent. I can't wait. I don't even know who you're talking about, so I can't wait.
And if you have any guests that you want us to have on, please connect us with them.
Yes, do it. All right, Lee. Nice to see you, mate, as always. And we will see you guys or hear from you guys next week. Thanks again. See you later.
Good night from me.
And it's good night from her.